Right, welcome back to another game of Precision Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of this game. We are going to finish out a second test game. This is a second game played between Arizona and Atlanta in 2023. Sorry about that. Whack the stand for the phone. It's professional around here. So we're entering into like the middle point of the game here. We'll be going to the bottom of the sixth inning. Arizona is up 2-1 on the Braves. The Braves scored on Marcell Ozuna's sacrifice fly. That was back in the sixth. And we've had a solo home run from Emmanuel Rivera. And then there was I believe it was on this 4-6 fielder's choice, which I guess he gets an RBI. So it was on a 4-6 fielder's choice from Gabby Moreno. He drove in the second run, which was Rivera, who had gotten on because of a Austin Riley error. So both pitchers still in the game. Starting pitchers are in the game, but I think starting in the next inning, we're going to remove Spencer Strider. He's at 20. He's at 21. Oh, actually, we're not. We'll leave him in the game. He can go 24. But it's Ryne Nelson starting in the next inning. We'll remove him from the game and put in a new pitcher. But we're just going to pick up in this game and finish it off. So Precision Baseball uses 3 D10 dice. We're going to read them red, white, and blue. And then I'm also incorporating this D20. And then we're basically looking at the 2 ratings. So you can think of this, it's very similar to the PB rating in Status Pro Baseball, where it's a rating that kind of determines who controls the at-bat or which card do you look off. Do you look off the batter or the pitcher? So it's not a true 50-50 game, only if the 2 players are at equal strength. Excuse me. But you can see here, Spencer Strider's a -6, which is it's a very, very good pitcher. The best you can be is a -6. The worst pitcher you can be is a +6. The best hitter you can be is a +6. The worst is a -6 batter. And the way they play off of each other, I'll show you in just a minute, because we're going to play off of Spencer Strider here. So it's Gurriel, Rivera, and Longoria. We had a few additions over here. The only change here is Marcell Ozuna for Travis d'Arnaud. Otherwise, it's just like the game that I played before. And the way it works is this determines sort of your decider or your control. It's just a simple D10. You could also roll 2, you do 2 D10s, or it's a D20. So you can do 2 D10s and just add them together. That's fine as well. You just need a 1 to 20 roll. So you can say Gurriel's rating is a +3. Strider is a -6. So when you add those together, so 3 minus 6 is a -3. And then what you do is normally, if both players are even, if they're both 0, 1 to 10 would go to the batter card, and 11 to 20 goes to the pitcher card. So when all things are equal, it's 50-50, right? It's just a normal old 50-50 game. And so you roll this, 1 to 10 goes to the batter, 11 to 20 to the pitcher. But here you can see 3 minus 6 is a -3. So instead of a 1 to 10, we're going to say 10 minus 3. And we're sort of just focusing on the batter because that'll help you know what the ratio is. So you just take the batter and you subtract whatever the difference is between these numbers. So 3 minus 6 is a -3. 10 minus 3 is a 7. So a 1 to 7 goes to Gurriel. 8 to 20 goes to the pitcher. So that's how that works. And over here you see that Arcia is a +3. Ryne Nelson is a 0. So you subtract the pitcher from the batter. So 3 minus 0 is 3. And then you add this to the batter rating. So when you add -3 to 10, you get 10 minus 3. When you add a +3 to 10, you get 13, right? So that becomes 1 to 13 for RCS. So you can see how the advantage in the at-bat works. So the better the pitcher, the lower the number, because that's going to pull the batter's number down a little bit. And the better the hitter, the higher the number. So it's going to give him more room to have control of the at-bat. So that's how those are going to work. As I play it a little bit more, it just becomes a little bit more second nature. I think if you play 3, 4, 5 games, it will become second nature and you won't really have any issues there. It seems like maybe a lot of math to do, but on the fly, but it's really not a big deal once you get into at-bat after at-bat. So Spencer Strider is facing Gurriel Jr. So that's going to be a 1 to 7 for the batter. It's a 15. I don't know if you can see that very well where the glare is here, but it's a 15. So that's going to come off of Spencer Strider's card. So we read red, white, and blue. 573 is a strikeout for Spencer Strider. Strider led the majors in strikeouts last year. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got 6 in his first 5 1/3 innings. So he's well on his way. And that brings up Emmanuel Rivera with 1 out. Rivera, 2 runs scored. He's got a homer. He is 1 for 2 in this game. So here you can see 1 minus 6 is -5. So 10 minus 5 is a 5. So 1 to 5, it goes to the hitter card. It's a 17, so that's going to be off Strider. 745 for him is going to be a walk. So Strider with only his second walk of the game. I like to circle my walks, and that just helps me to see very quickly and to scan whether how many walks there are. And I do the boxes with the K's. Helps me to easily see the strikeouts and the walks. All right, Longoria is up. Longoria is 0 for 1. He grounded out and he walked. He actually got thrown out by Michael Harris. He was we rolled off of the fly ball chart, and it was green. So they were sending him, and you have to roll for the play at the plate or the play at the base or whatever it is. So we had to roll, and he got thrown out by Michael Harris. So pretty awesome. And now Longoria is up with a runner at first base, and we got 1 out. A 12. So again, it's a 1 to 5 for the batter. So we're going off Strider's card. So 162 is going to be a fly ball. You can see quite a few fly balls here compared to Ryne Nelson, who has a lot more ground balls, but he has quite a few fly balls himself. Most of his are taken up with you go 346 to 715 for a K. He's only 512 to 671, so K percentage is off the charts for Spencer Strider. So on the fly ball, that's going to go to 227. So what we do is we check our fly ball player finder. 227 falls in the left fielder range. And then now we need to check for the error. The left fielder is Eddie Rosario. Eddie is a 0 on his error. So now we're looking at the error chart here, and you just roll off of that each time. He's in the 0 column, so 981 to 1,000 or 1 to 30. So it's pretty small chances there. 270 is no error on the plate, so he's going to make the catch. Fly ball to 7, and he's out. And now we need to, that's out number 2. Now we need to check our fly ball chart to see what happens with the runner. Is he going to go? Is he going to stay? Or do we have a chance to advance the runner or no? So we have a runner at first base, so we're looking here. 439 is in this red section right here. You can see 361 to 540 is this section here. So red means that the runner stays, no advancement, no possibility of advancement from the runner. So the runner stays at first, it's 2 down, and that's how you resolve the fly balls like that. It's a little cumbersome and a little detailed, but if you like that kind of thing, it's not cumbersome like complex and difficult. It's just quite a few steps to go through. Josh Rojas is up. He's 2 for 2. He's got a couple of singles. He's another 1 to 5, and so this comes off Strider's card. 238 is going to be another fly ball. This one goes out to center field. Michael Harris is there. We should probably check on 186. I think he'll make the catch. Let's see. Harris is a +1, so he does make that catch. And with 2 outs, no need to check on what the runner's doing. That's just going to be a fly out to end the inning. And Arizona strands one at first on the walk to Emmanuel Rivera. Miss Strider gets himself out of it with a couple of flyouts. We're going to go ahead and bring in a new pitcher here. We'll replace Ryne Nelson. Alright, so I got a few relievers here. These are the relievers I used in the last game, and really the only ones that I would feel super comfortable with. Maybe there's Ginkle in there too. Is he pitch for them? Let's see. These are guys that I would feel comfortable bringing into the game after looking through their list. Ginkle is one too. He's in here. We got Miguel Castro. He's one. I guess there's a few. Okay, there's a few here. So these are guys that I would say I feel comfortable bringing into a game, especially into a tight ball game. And the way I'm kind of judging these is I'm looking at their ratings, right? So the lower the rating, the better the pitcher. So Kevin Ginkle had a terrific year. Castro is okay. McGuff had a great year. Apparently Andrew Chafin had a good year. Kyle Nelson, and then these two are zeros. The last game I brought in McGuff for a save situation, but I think Ginkle would probably be the better save opportunity. McGuff converted the save. He did give up a home run in the 9th inning. So we're looking here at, just kind of the ratings. The other pitchers over here are +1 or +2 or whatever. So these, we're a tight ball game. It's 2-1. We're going to the 7th inning. We got to cover 3 innings at least, and so we'll put McGuff in, and then we'll use Kevin Ginkle for our closer. One thing that you can look at here is the hits. You can look at the K and the walk percentage. If you're in need of a ground ball, you probably want to bring Ginkle in. He's a 1 to 230. The rest of these guys are like 1 to less than 200. Mantipley, also a 1 to 300. So if you need a ground ball, you're going to want to bring one of these guys in. If you're in need of a fly ball or a strikeout, Andrew Chafin maybe is a better opportunity. He's a 340 to 669. What is that? 35% K rate. So better strikeout rate than these other guys. McGuff with a 29% K rate. So just looking at there, you kind of learn to read like the Matrix, where you learn to read through the statistics, through the opportunities here, through the roles, and basically you just divide these by 10 and you're going to get their percentage, right? So it's a 15% chance for a ground ball, and then another 17% chance for a fly ball, and then an 8% chance for a line drive. You got a 28% chance here for a strikeout. What is that? 6% chance for a walk. So that's his strikeout, and his walk ratios is 28 and 6. Hit by pitch, that's only like a 1% chance, and then less than that for a wild pitch. And then his hit chance is about 25%. So you can see this guy Nelson gives up hits quite easily compared to Ginkel. You gotta get it all the way to 852 to get a hit for him. So it's a 100, like a 10% difference between the hits. And so here you gotta get all the way to 800. So if you get to 800, the pitcher's quite good for a hit. I don't know what's going on. That was a mess up over here with Castro. I have to go back through the cards and make sure. I'm already seeing quite a few errors on the cards. So this is my first run, my first pass at the cards. Like here, Orlando Arcia has the catcher one. He needs the infielder one. So I had to go back through and do that. So Scott McGough will be the pitcher, and he's replacing Ryne Nelson, who's a starter. He went 6 innings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hits. 1 run. That run is earned. He had no walks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Ks. He faced 26. No wild pitches. So, really good start for him. 6 innings, 8 hits, 1 run. No walks and 5 strikeouts for Ryne Nelson. Nelson is you can see he's a 0 here, but he still managed to control several of the at-bats. Now, controlling the at-bats doesn't mean you're going to be a world beater every time, whether you're the pitcher or the hitter. It doesn't work like that. It just means that instead of going off of the batter's statistics for the year, you're going to go off the pitcher's statistics for the year if the pitcher controls the at-bat. So, you know, if you have a bad pitcher and he's getting control all the time, that might not be so good. But the reality is the batter is probably going to control. If he's a bad pitcher, the batter is probably going to control most of the time. And the batter's controlling is typically better than the pitcher's controlling. But if a pitcher is really good, like Strider, he's going to control the at-bat most of the time. Although I've had quite a few rolls off of the batter cards, even though, you know, they're working off of usually like anywhere from a 1 to 5 to a 1 to 8. So they've actually had quite a few come off of their cards. The goal of this is precision. So trying to precisely show the game of baseball and to precisely show each player their unique attributes. So if you have a guy who gets a lot of base hits, hopefully the game is going to allow them to get a lot of base hits. If you have a pitcher who doesn't give up many hits and he's high strikeout, that should be what happens in the game. Like Spencer Strider, he's only got a 19% chance for a strike or for a hit. He's got a 37% strikeout rating and only an 8% walk rating. So hopefully that's how things are turning out in the game, or at least over the long run. All right, so we got Scott McGough in the game. He's going to be facing off against Michael Harris, Arcia. So it'll be Harris and then back to the top of the order with Acuna and Olsen. Okay, so when we look at McGough, we have a -1 to a 3. So 3 minus 1 is +2. So 1 to 12 goes to Michael Harris, and it's a 1. And then we read 704. 704 is going to be a walk as Harris takes the walk, and he'll be down at first base. Not much stealing in this series because McGough is a +1, and then Gabby Moreno is I believe is a 7 with his arm. Harris is a 1, so 7 plus 1 is 8. That's the battery, and then you compare that, or you subtract that from the runner's steal rating. So 1 minus 7 is a -6, and -6 puts you in the lowest stealing rating over here. Sorry, so you can see red is outs. So anywhere from 361 to 710. So that's about a 30, what was that? 36 to 71. That's only about a 35% chance of stealing second base, which is not, at this point, not going to be good with the big boppers coming up. So he's not going to be running anywhere anytime soon. Maybe I can figure out how to work in hit and runs, which might be nice. All right, so next up is Ronald Acuna Jr. Acuna is a +4 batter, one of the highest ratings in the game. He was the MVP. You would expect that, right? So 4 minus 1 is +3, so 1 to 13 goes to him, and you can see how that pays off here. This is a 12, so instead of going to the pitcher, it goes to the batter's card. 765 is going to be a base knock for Ronald Acuna. Over here, it would have been a walk if it had been off of McGuff's card. So that's going to be a base hit for Acuna. And really, it does go slowly, but I'm like super walking you through this as well. So in order to determine some things, we have a runner at first. He's going to go to second on the single, but let's see if there's what kind of hit it was and what we have the possibility for. So we're looking at the single, and we have a 7. That's going to be a ground ball to right field. So that's going to be a single to right, and maybe there's an opportunity to send the runner here. So if we look at our runner is Michael Harris. His running is a +2. And for this one, we're looking at the extra bases here. So right now he's in this column here, +2, 1 to 5. So that's quite a few greens. That's almost the best you can do with advancing to third. And so now we need to compare him to the right fielder's arm. The right fielder is Pavin Smith. Smith is here. His arm rating is a -1. So because the base runner has the advantage, it's greater than the arm rating. We have to roll off of this outfield arm chart. So you can see red is going to be safe and green is out. It's probably hard for you to read that, but that's what it says. That's the key down here. So all the red is safe and all the green is out. So if you have to roll off of the outfielder's kill percentage, which is what this is based off of, their kill percentage is quite a bit less than the runners taking extra bases. So it's definitely an advantage if the base runner has a higher run value than the outfielder's arm. So that's kind of what we're comparing there. If the outfielder's arm is greater, then you roll off of the base running chart, because there are a lot more outs here to be had. So so we're rolling off the outfield arm. I guess we could look at that. We're rolling off the outfield arm chart. His outfield arm is a -1, so that's the worst you could be over here. And you can see that it's a 31 to 100, and he'll be out at third base. So this is Michael Harris rounding second, and he's going to be taking off for third on a ground ball to right field. Oh, it'd help if we roll all three, huh? A 221 is going to be outside the range there. The range is 31 to 100 for an out. And so 221 is here, and he is in the red, and that's going to be safe at third. As the throw is offline, and Michael Harris takes third base on the single. So that's how taking extra bases works. It works because on a ground ball to right field, you're going to be thinking first to third. On a ground ball to center field, I would consider it as well. I don't know how to make some adjustments. On a ground ball to left field, I would not send a runner first to third unless he was stealing. Then you would do that. So just trying to think about how to codify that a little bit. But base knock by Acuna and Harris, who's on first, goes first to third. So now we have first and third with nobody out. I'm sorry. Yeah, with nobody out. McGuff is in hot water here. Let's play the infield in. So we have a couple of different charts here. We have ground balls at normal depth, and then we have ground balls with the infield in. So our situation is first and third. So this is where we'll be looking. And then we got all the infield positions here. Obviously, if it's a fly ball, then that's going to go, you know, you just deal with the fly ball as it comes, or a line drive off the line drive chart. So, opportunity here, we got the infield in just in case there's a ground ball. And the rating here of 3 minus 1 is 2, so 1 to 12 goes to Olson the batter. It's a 12, and he gets control of 274 is going to be a fly ball, so an opportunity here maybe. We'll see. The fly ball goes out to left field. The left fielder is Gurriel. And Gurriel's error is a +1. This is a 735, so he's going to make that catch. So we make the catch in left for out number 1. And then now we got to see about a fly ball and runner advancement. So we got our fly ball chart here. We're looking at left field. We've got first and third. So it's either going to be, well, we don't even need to, I guess we need to roll to see whether there's a choice or it has to go. So we have a 0.92, and that's up here. And so the runner is going. That's what green means. Green means go. Red means stay. And yellow means that it's the gamer's decision whether to send the runner or not. So we got our lead runner. He's going to be going for home. That is Michael Harris. Harris is a +2 on his running. Gurriel as a left fielder is, I just had him. His arm is a 5. So that is going to be, we're looking at this chart here. So a 2 is here against a 5. And we'll see if he's going to be safe at home, sort of strength on strength. You can see here that 1 to 100 is an out, and then anything above 841 will be out at the plate. We've already had one guy thrown out in this game. It's a 416, and Harris slides in safely just ahead of the tag. And the Braves tie it up with a sacrifice fly. We'll call that a sac fly to left field from Matty Olson. Olson now with 1 RBI. Acuna is going to stay put at first. And we are tied at 2 in this one. Exciting play at the plate with the fly ball to left field. That'll be 1 out with the runner at first base. Austin Riley to the plate. He's a +3, so this is off of the batter card. 614 is going to be a strikeout, and McGuff gets the K. So you can see that the game slows down a little bit once you get runners on base. There's just a lot of details to work out with base running and fielding. And then Murphy is a +1, so this is going to be off of McGuff's card. A 903 is a base hit, and we'll see what kind of hit that is. Oh boy, that's trouble. 935. Sean Murphy gets a fastball, a little bit too much of the plate, and he deposits this one into it's left field. It's down the line, and a 10 bangs it off the foul pole in left field, and that's going to be a 2-run jack for Sean Murphy as he puts that one over the fence, and that puts the Braves into the lead. So 3 runs here in the top half of the 7th, and we're going to have to get we'll leave the pitcher out there, I guess. I don't know how much more damage he can do. We'll see. Sean Murphy now 2 for 4 with a single and a 2-run homer. So 3 runs in for the Braves. They now lead 4-2 in the top of the 7th inning against Arizona. Eddie Rosario to the plate. Rosario with a +1 advantage. So this is going to go to McGuff. That's a ground ball. That goes to the first baseman. The third baseman. The third baseman is going to make the play. Anything in the 600s, you can see here. There are no errors from 211 to 980. So anything in those ranges, you can just say there's no error on the play. So that's going to be a 5-3 putout. But the damage is done as McGuff comes in and gives up 3 runs to the Braves in the top half of the 7th inning. So we head to the bottom of the 7th. All of a sudden, the Braves have the lead. So 27, 26, 25. Spencer Strider is already at his limit here. So we're going to go ahead and replace him. Let's get new pitcher in for the Braves. I won't force you to go through that situation where I'm digging through all the cards. All right, new pitcher in the game for the Braves is going to be Pierce Johnson. He was a pickup from the Rockies. He was a pickup from the Rockies. Not sure if he was on the team at this point or if when they traded for him. Can't remember if that was off season or if that was in season. But we're going to put him in the game here. He has one of the best curveballs in baseball. And had a really good year. His rating is a -1. 832 is the beginning of his hit rating. As a comparison, AJ Minter is at 787, so fully 5% better at not giving up hits. So that's going to be good here. He's going to be facing off against Gabby Moreno, Gerardo Perdomo, and back to the top with Pavin Smith. All of a sudden, it's 4-2 Braves after four runs come home in the 6th and the 7th innings. McGuff gives up a 2-run bomb to Sean Murphy, clangs off the fair pole, and Gabby Moreno is up. He's 0 for 2. He does have a ground out RBI though. You can see he has a +1, so 1-11 to the batter. And this is a 288. That's going to be a fly ball off of Moreno's bat. And that goes out to left field. 861. The left fielder is going to make the play. There's no errors there. So that'll be a fly out to the left fielder, Rosario. And a quick first out in this one. Perdomo to the plate. He struck out and flied out. You can see he's also a +1. That's going to be to the batter card. So a 974 is going to be a double as Perdomo with a blooper to right field. And he's going to be in there with a 2-bagger as he bloops one down the line in right field. And I'm getting that off of the hit chart here. It was a 9 as a blooper to right field. And Arizona's in business. They got a runner in scoring position with only 1 out. Pavin Smith to the plate. His running is a 2, so that's pretty good. And Pavin Smith is a -1, so a 1-9 for Pavin Smith. You can see it comes off of his card anyway, so 351 is going to be a fly ball. And 928, that's a pop-up to the shortstop. 186, well, we should do this because it's a lower number. The shortstop is Arcia. That was one of the cards I messed up. I gave him a catcher card on accident. So Arcia is a -3 on his error. So he's like the worst one you could get. 1, 2, 3. The third one down, a 101 to 210. So that means that's going to be an error as it pops off of his glove trying to make the catch, and that'll be an E6 on that pop-up, which means that I think the runner is going to stay here at second base because he wouldn't be going anywhere on a pop-up to short. But we're going to have a runner safe at first. It's Pavin Smith gets a gift. So 2 on now, 1 out, and it's Ketel Marte. Marte with a double in his first at bat, but it's been pretty quiet after that. He got a pop up to second and a strikeout. This is going to be off of the pitcher card, 893. We got a hit for Marte. A 938, that's real trouble, as Marte's home run number is 840 to 1000, and just like that, Ketel Marte delivers a pitch. Where did he hit that? So he hits that one to straightaway left field as he deposits a fastball over the left fielder's head into the stands as it sneaks out, and it counts the same as if he hit it 500 feet, and that's going to be a home run. And now Arizona is back ahead with a 3-run shot from Ketel Marte. Wow. So those runs come home. It's now 5-4 as Marte adds a little offense to the game. He's 2 for 4 now. Corbin Carroll to the plate. I was hoping to be out of this by the time we got to the meat of the order. Carroll's a 1-12. So this is off the pitcher card. 232 is another fly ball. This time it goes to right field. Acuna is there. He's going to make the catch in right field, and that'll be out number 2. So a couple flyouts, but a lot of damage in between that as they get Corbin Carroll to fly out. Brings up Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He is a +2, so off the pitcher card, a 394 is a line drive. And that's hit out to left field. And left field is Eddie Raz, and he's going to make a nice catch on the liner to left. So that's out number 3. The damage definitely done as Arizona fights back with 3 runs of their own. 7 runs scored between the two teams in the last inning and a half as the scoring has opened up a little bit. So we go to the top of the 8th inning. We're going to get a new pitcher for Arizona, and McGough will come out. All right, the new pitcher for Arizona is going to be Andrew Chafin. He comes in to replace Scott McGough. McGough 1 inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 1 K. Tough inning there for him. Sorry, he gave up 3 runs. Should be 3. It's 5-4. So thankfully for Arizona, Pierce Johnson had an equally rough inning. So Arizona retains the lead as they go to the top of the 8th. We keep our original plan of McGough, Chafin, and then Ginkel is the plan to bridge the gap to the end of the game. For the Braves, we're going to stick with the original plan there as well, but we'll see if they can get the lead back here against Andrew Chafin. That was a 14. So it's going to be Albies up first, and he is a +2, so 1-12. This will come off the pitcher card. A 737 will be a walk. So Ozzie with the leadoff walk. His stealing is only a +1, so he's sort of in the area where he's not going to steal at this point. You got the big bear up, Marcell Ozuna. This will go off the pitcher card, and 8-10 is going to be a hit for Ozuna. And the hit is a 685. 685 is going to be a double. Where does that one go to? So we look at our doubles chart. We got a 6. That's going to be a line drive to left center field. And we'll have to see about that. So that's going to be a 2-bagger. That'll push the runner to third. And left center field. I don't really have a mechanism for making this one, so I think we just need to decide off of what's his name's speed if we're gonna. So Albie's speed is a 3. That puts him in the next to highest one here. So if he's gonna take an extra base, we're just gonna roll off of that, and let's go ahead and try it. We've got a 101 to 840, so that's about an 83% chance of scoring. We could do something like taking the outfielder arm, I guess, and subtracting that from the base runner. But I don't know who picked up the ball. I guess that's the problem. So double to left center field. They're going to send Ozzie home. This was Ron Washington last year. We need at least a 101 to 840, and he'll be safe at home. And he is going to be in there safe ahead of the throw, and the Braves tie it up. So coming all the way around from first is going to be Ozzie Albies, who got a good jump on that double. Marcell Ozuna comes through at the bottom of the order with an RBI double, and that's going to bring up Orlando Arcia with a runner in scoring position and nobody out, as the Braves strike right back. This will be to the batter, a 935. That's going to be back-to-back doubles. Wow. So that's going to be a run scoring double, as this is a little blooper down the right field line. No. I've lost a die. All right. We're back. Finally found the die. So that's going to be a blooper to right field for Arcia. It's going to be an RBI double, as the Big Bear comes around to score. And that gives the Braves the lead. So it's now 6-5, Atlanta. The relief pitching has not been very relieving here in this game. And I was wondering if we're going to have a little bit more scoring in the game itself. Looks like we are. Gosh, I had to go on an expedition to find that die. All right, this will be a +2 Michael Harris with an 879. Be another hit. This one's going to be a base hit. And let's see, that goes to, that is an infield single. So you can see a 10 on a single is an infield single. And that means the runner is going to be safe at third. Harris is safe at first. And this is not going the way that Andrew Chafin had hoped. He's given up 2 already. He's got nobody out still. And runners at first and third. They're going to play the infield in, so any ground balls are going to go to our infield in chart. +3 to Acuna, so this comes out the pitcher at least. 237 is going to be into the line drive range. Might have a chance for a double play here. Let's see. 692 is going to be to right field, so no chance for that. The right fielder is Pavin Smith. He's going to make the catch. So fly ball to right field, line drive to right field. Smoked and scalded by Acuna. We got a runner at third base. It's Arcia. If we look at our line drive chart, that's why we have this one for line drive outs. So line drive to right field. Runners at first and third, so we have some no-goes here. 7-11 is into a no-go zone, so first and third. 7-11 starts right here. So that's into the red, shallow liner. Runners aren't going. And that's going to be 1 out with runners at first and third. Let's go ahead and play the infield in still. We just need to cut down that run because now Arizona's down by 1. It's the 8th. Matty Olson to the plate. He had a sac fly in his last at bat. This is going to be trouble because this is a hit. And what kind of hit for Matty Olson? A 307 is going to be a single. So another base hit for the Braves. That single is a blooper to center field, a little Texas leaguer into center field, a jam job. So that's going to be a base hit to center. That's going to score this run. And it's going to move the runner up to second base. Oh, didn't need to do all that. So a single, and that's an RBI for him. 2 RBIs in the game for Matty Olson as he drives in run number 7. It's now 7-5. Atlanta. Austin Riley into the batter's box now. He's a +3, so this is off Riley's card. A 400 is another line drive. This time it goes to left field. So hard hit to left field. That's going to be a catch. There's no situation where that's an error. So it's a liner to left, caught by the left fielder. And I'm just going to go ahead and choose. I'm not going to be running with anybody at this point. So even if it said it was my choice. First and second on a line drive to left. There are only no-goes. So here, there are only 2 opportunities for you to decide as the manager to send somebody. I'm not going to send anybody. So, not the way I like to roll on liners to left field, sending guys to third, even if it's Michael Harris. Sean Murphy is up. He had a 2-run bomb in his last at bat. He's 2 for his last 2. He's going to get the advantage here. A 288. He has a fly ball. That fly ball goes to shortstop. Arcia missed his last one. See if he makes the play here. 889. He is going to make the catch, and that's going to be out number 3 as we go P6. Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't Arcia who is the shortstop. Perdomo. He makes the catch there. Either way, you can't make an error on that rule. So Sean Murphy pops out for the second time in this game. He popped out to the catcher back in the first. And the Braves score 3 more. They strand 2. And they've scored all 7 of their runs in the last 3 innings, which feels like the 2023 Braves. And we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Going to get a new pitcher. Arbridge to the bullpen has been Johnson, Minter, and Iglesias. So we're going to stick with that. So let me go ahead and figure these totals for Johnson. All right, new pitcher is going to be AJ Minter, the lefty. He's a -2 rating. His stamina is 4, so basically a 1-inning pitcher. He replaces Pierce Johnson, who was snake bitten a little bit. Goes 1 inning, only gives up 2 hits. He did give up a home run. I guess one of those runs is earned. 3 runs, but only 2 of them. We had the error here, so I think you count both of those. I can't remember if it's 1. We'll just call it 2. I don't remember. Counting earned runs is not easy all the time. So this run would have not scored had the error not occurred. This one would have scored, so I guess it's 3 runs, 2 earned on the home run, and no walks, no strikeouts. So Minter comes in. He'll face off against Rivera, Longoria, and Rojas, and we'll see if one of these relievers can finally shut the other team down. It's a -2, so it's a -1 to Minter, and that means this is a 1-9. It's a 6, and a 607. It's going to be a strikeout from A.J. Minter as he bores that cutter in on his hands. And Rivera can't catch up to it. That's out number 1. Brings up Evan Longoria. Longoria DHing in this game. He's 0 for 2. He's got a walk. He got thrown out at home. Just like to keep reminding people. This is to Longoria's card of 412 is going to be a strikeout. So back-to-back Ks for A.J. Minter. Tough on the righties. 2 down with Josh Rojas coming to the plate. Rojas is a 1-9. So this is going to go out the pitcher card of 318. And 318 is going to be a line drive. It's a line drive to the center fielder, Michael Harris. Harris is going to come in and make a running catch on that liner, and that'll be out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down for Minter in the 8th, and good job by him. We'll be replacing him. We're going to replace Chafin with Ginkel. We'll just stick with our original plan. Chafin goes 1 inning. He has 4 hits and 3 runs. And Kevin Ginkel into the game. He's a -2. He'll face, oh my gosh, it's an earthquake. No, not really. It's me whacking the phone stand again. Got a lot of stuff going on around here. You can't really see it, but I'm working on projects here on the table, so I'm trying to carve out just a little bit of space without moving everything. So Kevin Ginkel, he is going to be facing off against Eddie Raz. Rosario is 0 for 4. A couple of groundouts, a couple of flyouts. Nice and even. We're in the top of the 9th inning. It is 7-5. Braves over the Diamondbacks. A lot of scoring here in the last few innings after a well-pitched early part of the game. Not bringing in bad relievers, just high rolls for the batters and the pitchers. And some good base running situations to be able to run and use the plays and stuff like that. You can see that the game moves pretty slowly. I mean, I'm not playing it super fast, but this is going to be a game that's going to be involved, and you might have to, if you don't have a lot of time, you might need to put it away for a little bit and then come back. And it's like a little bit like a steak, you know, you're just kind of savoring the moment. This isn't a fast food dinner kind of game. This is a go out to a nice restaurant kind of game. So you want to make sure you have some time, but it's baseball, right? So it's easy to kind of put things away and come back to it and savor it a little bit. But lots of things to kind of work out and check out, and lots of fun things, you know, colorful charts and things that you can do infield in, and, you know, I'll probably do some outfield in and outfield back kind of charts, things like that. And maybe even on the maybe even on the hit charts. I don't know about on the hit charts, but just some things to think about. I'll get it out there for play testing soon. Eddie Rosario is 0 for 4. This is an 11. It's a 1-10, so that's going to go to Ginkel. For 199 to Kevin Ginkel is going to be a grounder. Ginkel, a ground ball specialist here. You can see a 1 to 230 is a really good ground ball percentage. So a 316 is going to be a grounder at second base. So this is going to be Ketel Marte. 869, that's going to be a catch and a good throw to first. So 4-3 on the putout. Rosario down as he swings over a sinker, pulls it to second. He's out number 1. Ozzie Albies is 3 for 3. He's got a walk and a run scored. Good game for the diminutive second baseman of the Braves. This is going to be a +1 to him. So 789 is another base hit. And look at that. Ozzie Albies on fire in the bottom of the order. He'll be at first base. Ginkgo with the hold of 0, so that's still going to be a +7 to Gabby Moreno. Not going to be stealing from there. Marcell Ozuna, who's got 2 RBIs. He's got 2 hits and a sac fly. This comes off of his card, and 872 is going to be a base knock for him. So back-to-back singles. And that's going to be a ground ball through the left side. So Albies advances to second on the single, and we got the Braves in business here, first and second with 1 out. It'll be Orlando Arcia to the plate. He doubled home the Big Bear in his last at-bat. An 8 is to Arcia. A 336 is going to be a fly ball. And that fly out goes to left field. The left fielder is Gurriel. He'll make the play in left. Let's check the fly ball chart, see what happens with our base runners. We got first and second. 788 is here, first and second. So that's going to be pretty deep, and it's going to be the choice of, it's going to be the gamer's choice. That's what the yellow means. I'm not going to run because what's his name's arm is a 5, and my guy's already in scoring position. So got 2 down. Not going to chance it on getting thrown out at third. Michael Harris, the 9th place hitter, but he is 1 for 3. He's got a walk and a single. This is a 9. See that there. And Ginkgo is, well, Harris is a 1 to 11, so that's going to be his card. 543 will be a strikeout, and Ginkgo ends the inning with a K. So you can feel this game moves about the pace of baseball. So it kind of feels like a real inning is happening when you're playing. I'm not trying to play too fast, so that's part of it too. If you play too fast, there's too many moving parts for you to play too fast. So you got to have your mind sharp. It's early in the morning. It's 7 o'clock. So maybe my mind is sharper at the end of the day. We'll see. This is Kevin Ginkgo. He finishes up his inning, so I'll finish off his day and then bring in Raisel Iglesias. New pitcher for the Braves is going to be Raisel Iglesias. He is the closer for the Braves for the last 2 seasons. He's a -2, so a good pitcher. Ginkgo finishes his day 1 inning, 2 hits, no runs, 1 strikeout. And he got himself out of a little bit of hot water there. For Iglesias, he's going to be facing off against Moreno and then Perdomo, and we'll see if maybe we can bring in a different hitter there, pinch hitter for Pavin Smith. 18 is going to be to Iglesias. You can see these cancel each other out, so it's a 1 to 10, 11 to 20. A 579 will be a strikeout as Iglesias gets him on the slide piece. That's out number 1. Perdomo to the plate. Perdomo is 1 for 3. He had a double and a run scored in his last at bat. He came in on the homer from Ketel Marte, which briefly gave the Diamondbacks the lead. You can see another even matchup. So Perdomo, a decent hitter. Iglesias matches him with his abilities, and this will go to the pitcher. So 296 is going to be a fly ball. And that fly ball goes out to left field. A 141. We'll check on the left fielder. That's Eddie Roz. He is 0 error. So he only makes an error on a 1 to 30 or 981 to 1,000. So there's no error on the play. So that's going to be a fly out to the left for out number 2. And back to the top of the order with Pavin Smith. Not sure what they have on the bench here. McCarthy. Oh, actually, let's go with Christian Walker. See if he can provide a little lift here. He at least gets an advantage off of the at-bat. You can see a 779 is a hit for Iglesias. A 772 is a hit for Christian Walker. So marginally, only a little bit of difference, but still a little bit of difference there. So Christian Walker pinch hitting in the 9th. Just like to make that indication. It's a 1, so this goes to Walker. A 343 is going to be a fly ball. That's a fly out to left field. Eddie Rods is going to make that catch, and that will end our game. Iglesias points to the sky. The Braves win this one by a score of 7-5. Let me take a quick break here, and I'll come back with the totals. All right, and we're back with our totals. Atlanta wins this one 7-5. 7 runs on 16 hits, and 2 errors they survived. Because they were just pounding the ball all over the place. 5 runs on 7 hits and no errors for the Snakes. The loss is going to go to Chafin, who gives up 3 runs in the 8th inning. Couldn't hold the lead that Ketel Marte had given him on the 3-run homer. AJ Minter gets the win for coming in late in the ball game and shutting them down. And then Iglesias, he is going to get the save in the save situation. So this is the last few innings of precision baseball. Just a lot of things going on in this game. It's not complicated. It has complexity, but it's not complicated. You can see that if you just take your time through everything, it's a little bit like playing a football game, where there's a lot of moving parts, and you just kind of, once you get into the flow of what makes sense, okay, we're in this situation, it makes sense to check for a double play, it makes sense to think about how the base runners are going to advance in this situation. So, and then a lot of things, with these charts, a lot of things are just sort of given to you about what your options are and what needs to happen, in this play. We didn't do a lot of double plays or anything like that. I had a few opportunities early in the game, but you're rolling for double plays here kind of through the meaty middle of all the rolls. And, when there's an opportunity here for advancement or holding or, just whatever it is, you get all of those, what all these things mean here. So I should put an asterisk on there. That means that the run scores. Yes. So still a little bit of ways to go with it. Still a lot of things changing. Like I said, I need to go through and make sure that all of the players have everything they're supposed to have on their cards, because when I shift the cards and do different things, it can shift around some of those parts that are supposed to be set on their cards. And still got some parts of this game that we're not using, like the barrel or the hard hit, and how that plays or how that changes things. Does that change, does it change one kind of hit to another or something like that? Don't know how that could work or should work. It's wasted space if I'm not going to use it, so I need to figure out a way to use it. Maybe through play testing you all can help me decide how to use that. Again, it's 3D10s, different colors. At least one of them needs to be a different color so you can distinguish, but all 3 should be different colors. And then a D20, or you could roll these 2 D10s first and get like a 16, and then roll all 3 together. You could do that as well, but I like having the D20. Nice, easy. And if you're playing games like Stratomatic or APA, you probably have a D20 around. And if not, they're pretty easy to find. So I'm not too worried about getting the dice for this game. But I have every player carded. I think the batters, I made sure that they had at least 20 plate appearances. What's that for the batters? And for the pitchers, it was something like 10 batters faced, I think. So they had to get a little bit of playing time, you know. Otherwise, it really throws off all of the ratings and stuff like that. So you start to get some like real crazy ERAs and ratings. You get players who came in, position players who came in and pitched and stuff like that. So not exactly what I'm looking for. But you'll get all of the bench players and the guys who came up for a cup of coffee for a couple weeks or whatever and got some playing time. So should be fun. You can see here I don't know if I'm going to stick with the pitchers are red, the batters are blue. It kind of distinguishes them between each other. But you know, the Braves, that's not the Braves blue. They have the same color. You know, there's no blue for the Diamondbacks. So I don't know, is that a convention that you like, or do you prefer to see the team colors? I had the team colors before, but this was all black on the top, which is nice, but it's kind of a waste of ink, so for no real reason, and it makes things a little bit more difficult to read as well. So once this gets into your hands, you'll be able to provide some good feedback to that and see what kinds of things can be changed and what can be made better. All right, so the Braves win this one 7-5. They lost the previous game 4-3. I never really showed that. I posted it to Facebook, but they lost this game 4-3. Matty Olson with a home run in the top of the 9th inning, but it was not enough as McGuff came into that game, gave up another run. He didn't give up anything in this one, did he? Oh, he did. He gave up 3 runs in this one. So he gave up another run here, not so reliable. But there was a 3-run or an RBI triple from Nick Ahmed, wound up being the difference. Christian Walker, Corbin Carroll had a home run in the first inning, and that was off of Charlie Morton. So Morton with 10 hits and 4 runs, 8 strikeouts and no walks, but he did give up quite a few hits to the Diamondbacks, and they were sort of on base all the time. So a 2-run homer for Matty Olson, and then a solo bomb. So he had 2 home runs in the game. Very Matt Olson-like in that game. So a couple of really good games here. Tight. There's some scoring. There's some not scoring. They didn't score off of the starters here, so that was Spencer Strider and Ryne Nelson. And so that was a good pitching matchup. And then when the relievers came into the game, the fireworks started. So that was sometimes how it happens in baseball. If you want to see some of our other baseball games, On Base Baseball is one that we produce. Got several seasons for that. And we have what we call the decade roster sheet. So you can actually get a decade worth of players rated for On Base Baseball that you can purchase. And they come in a team sheet format, similar to this, where you have all the players, you have all of their statistics, and then they're rated for On Base Baseball. So that's something you can buy. You can get a decade for $20. It's a really good deal. Whatever that is, 50 cents for an entire season of baseball that you can play out. And each season is ordered by their own PDF, so you don't have to print out all the seasons or figure that out. And you can play a full season for 50 cents. I don't know if that's the best deal in baseball, but it's really good. And then if you want a carded season, we have several carded seasons as well. Classic seasons like 67. You can download 1941 for free and just play the entire 41 season, get a sense of on-base baseball and whether that's something you would want to invest in the future. Some gamers love it. Some gamers try it, and I noticed that they never come back and they buy anything else. So maybe it's up for you. And if you like APA and you like Strat, but you're not quite satisfied with either one of them, and you want something a little bit newer, or On-Base Baseball's biggest selling point is it utilizes advanced statistics and sabermetrics for its game engine. So if you're into that, it might be a really good game for you. The batting runs, defense, and speed values are all sabermetric stats, and that is what I use to rate the players, and that's what the game engine is built on. So it's really easy to play, moves very quickly, 30-40 minutes at most, and you can play an entire game. It comes with cards just like this. The cards are a little bit taller. I don't have any right here in front of me, but cards are a little bit taller and a little bit skinnier. You get a landscape page 4 across, so you get 8 to a page, and you can print those out and cut them. You can leave them on the page, whichever. And I like to cut them out and just have the cards. But the game plays really well. It comes with a couple of score sheets that are specific to on-base baseball. These are from digidugout.com because I'm just using some pre-formatted games, and I didn't want to create my own lineups or anything. And so that is their quick play baseball, which Kevin Elias is playing. And if you're on Facebook, you can see him replaying some of those games. That's a really fun game. It fits into the size, the whole game engine plus the cards. You're just using a deck of cards. It fits into a tuck box like this, and you can take that with you. It's super portable. There's a couple of different, 3 different ways that you can play. One is super fast, like 5 minutes. One is a little bit more medium play, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and then a full play game might take you anywhere from 15 minutes to a half hour, depending on how quickly you move and what kind of stats you're keeping and stuff like that. So, but it's a full play baseball game that you can play with a deck of cards, and it's a ton of fun. I like it. I like to take it when I'm traveling on business trips or something like that because it's really portable. And then we have football games, play action football and no huddle football. So those are new. In another week or two, I'll probably be releasing a new season for play action football. So 2007 is ready to go. Just trying to catch it on the heels of the draft, maybe, when people are paying a little bit more attention to football. And what else? Oh, up-tempo basketball. So doing some things with up-tempo basketball as well. 2009, 2010, that's the newest season that was out. It was a really great season. One of the great regular seasons of all time. The West was super dominant. LeBron was at peak LeBron, and you get peak Kevin Durant, Timmy Duncan. It's Steph Curry's first year in the league. Just some really cool things. James Harden's first year in the league. There's some cool things that bridge the gap between today's game and sort of the 2000s, the early, like the late aughts, I guess. So 2005 to 2010, kind of bridging those players with players from today. So it's kind of an interesting set. And every team that made the playoffs in the Western Conference was at 50 wins or more. So whatever that is, 6 or 8 teams. 8 teams, I guess, with 50 wins at least. So there's a lot of domination in the Western Conference. If you remember those teams and you like those, Oklahoma City was solid with Russ and KD and all the other guys they had. And the Lakers, Kobe's in that set. So it's like peak Kobe Bryant. He's 30, 31. And San Antonio, solid in that set. Manu is in there, Timmy Duncan, Antonio McDyess. I don't remember McDyess playing for the Spurs. That's my team, is the Spurs. I don't remember McDyess being there, but I'm sure I watched it. And actually, I might not have. I was overseas that year, so I might not have watched too much of that team. Trying to think, there were a couple of other. Portland was really solid, and maybe Denver. I can't remember who the other really good team. Oh, Utah. Utah was solid in those years. That was not Devin Harris, maybe Devin. Oh, what was his name? Man, I can't remember now. Really good point guard that they had for the Nuggets, but sort of post Stockton and Malone, whatever that next wave was in Utah. All right, so you can go to clarkandaddisongaming.com and pick up any of those games, you can check them out. Look on this YouTube channel here, and I've got, some of those games are being played out. On base baseball I played recently. I've been playing out the 41 World Series. I still have a game or two left in that, and just wanted to kind of shift focus here to this game because something really made me switch over. But I need to finish out that 41 World Series just to get that done. Brooklyn has a 3-2 lead over the Yankees, and I have to see if they're going to close that one out. So maybe I can do that tomorrow. But this game is a ton of fun. Very different than on base. Still baseball, but quite a bit more detail than on-base baseball has. And it's going to take you a little bit more time, but it's a little bit more of like a sit and savor type of game. So it may not play very well on YouTube, but I think when you get on your table at home, you're going to be like, okay, there's a lot of baseball in this. A lot of like sort of plays that have been thought through. And still even more to add because the chart-driven type game is going to give you a lot of opportunities for like the little bitty detail kind of things to put in there. And again, I'll be working on the components, making sure that those are right before I release it to you. There's still some things that I really want to do, but just kind of play testing and making sure that everything feels right when you're watching it on the video. Does it seem right? Does it feel right to you? Does something feel off? So just trying to kind of put that out there before everybody gets their hands on it, to look and see, oh, okay, that's not very good. or maybe here's an idea for that. So if you have any of those ideas, put them down in the comment section below. If not, just be kind of waiting for an announcement for when that's going to go live for a demo, or you can reach out and do some testing. Right now, like I said, I have the whole season for 2023 carded. I actually have 2022, but I don't have with the new ratings and stuff like that. So trying to really get my process down so I can crank out some seasons. So there's a lot of things that go into a new game, more than just how it plays on the tabletop. It's how it looks. What do the components look like? Can we put together a bunch of charts onto one page instead of having like 12 pages? And then there's the process of actually doing the season creation. So I use Excel or Google Sheets, and so I got to get my card making process down so that I can just import stats, and a lot of the formulas and stuff like that are going to take care of the heavy lifting for me, and then I just have to go through and do some other things. So, getting a process down for that, just getting all the stats lined up so that they come into the spreadsheet well, and figuring out how to do that. So there's a lot of things that go into it, but once it gets set, it becomes a lot easier to start cranking out seasons once you know that the game engine is good. All right. Yeah, I think that's it from here. If you haven't subscribed, click subscribe. Usually put out 1 or 2 videos on average a week. Sometimes I go quieter. Sometimes I'm putting out stuff every day. Just depends on what life is like. And I'm just like you. I have kids and a family and all that stuff, a job. And so trying to just get this into the flow of life, just like you're trying to create, to play games in the flow of your life. So we're all sort of in the middle. I'm only 45. So, we're all kind of in the middle of life here, maybe on the younger end of the spectrum for this hobby. But the hobby is fun and interesting. And if you like historical baseball, then cards and dice is really the way to go to be able to experience the flavor of historical baseball. You can get the fun by playing a console game, and I still play console games on my phone and stuff like that, but this really gives you, there's nowhere you can go to kind of get this sort of in-depth look at the behind the scenes of how the game plays. You can manipulate it, you can change it. You can't do that with the show or any sort of mobile games that you're playing. So this really gives you a lot of control to kind of create the universe and the game that you want to play. And if you want to play historical seasons, this is just about the only way to go, is cards and dice, where you have control over those kinds of things, and you can do what ifs and some interesting scenarios. So a lot of fun. I hope that you enjoy it. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up. That's an easy way to support what I'm doing here. Another is to go and purchase games. That encourages me. It doesn't really line my pocket with a lot of money because these games don't cost very much, but but definitely encouraging, and I'm really appreciative of the support from the community. Being a new designer, coming into this totally fresh just a few years ago, and then going up against companies like APA and even the guys who make Payoff Pitch and Inside Pitch. They've been doing those games for 20 years. So I'm really a newbie, and so I appreciate everybody who has supported the games that I'm making. I know that sometimes the process and the games can be a little bit different than what you've experienced or expected in the past. And so if you're looking for something just a little bit different, a different way of thinking about sports gaming, then check out my games at clarkandedisongaming.com. It's definitely a new take and a new venture, and every purchase is an encouragement to me that people are interested, that they're looking for something to add that's a little bit different than something that people have been playing for 50 years. And that's the hope going to the future. All right. I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.